We're now joined on the Sports Mix with the head coach of the Hedgesville Eagles, Matt Faircloth. Coach, it was a close game for your team early on against Rocktown, but your team was able to pull away in the second half. What do you think kind of allowed your team to pull away and get that victory?
I think the biggest thing for us was sticking to what we game planned for. They threw some new things at us that we had to adjust to early on. But knowing the game plan and executing the game plan and being in probably the best shape that we've been in our tenure here, enabling us to, play late in the third quarter into the fourth.
What were some other things besides, I guess, your conditioning that you liked about your team's performance?
The physicality, that's the biggest thing that we've been harping on all summer is being the more physical football team. And at the end of the day, we're sometimes limited on the athletes we have, but if we can develop physical football players, I think that will eliminate a lot of the problems we have. And I think that was the big thing Friday night was we were just a more physical football team.
Does anything stand out from that game that you feel like your team could do a little bit better in the next few weeks?
Definitely we fumbled on the 1 yard line. We had 2 touchdowns called back. It's just little things, the legal man downfield, not make sure we're not getting downfield too far. And kickoff return, we had 1 called back. And that one there was just, instead of, getting hands on the chest, we got hands on the shoulder. Just little things like that to take this step Friday and playing a complete, clean game.
Coach, you guys are preparing for Kaiser this week. Again, you're on the road. Kaiser, a team that usually pretty solid, smaller school. What are some things that you've seen from them so far this year?
I think they're your typical Kaiser team. They're going to be fundamentally sound in their technique and their form, and they know the system that they're trying to run. They've been running it for a long time now. So for them, this is it's just plug and play, and they got some guys that can run. Got a couple young quarterbacks back there, but they all both have strong arms and are able to get it down the field. And on defense, they fly around, they rally, they pursue to the football, and they're going to be a physical football team.
What are some of the challenges of playing on the road at Kaiser?
I think anytime you're on the road is a challenge in itself, just for the simple fact of you got to get on a bus, you got to go, you got to travel. You don't really get that home feel where you can sit around and put the game plan in place after school. So for us, that's the biggest thing is, being able to get on a bus again and travel 2 hours and get out and execute a game plan and not come out flat. And, which Friday night we didn't. They changed the game time on us from 6:30 to 7, right as the clock expired. So, we were throwing some wrenches into it, but at the end of the day, our kids adjusted well.
And looking back at the game again from last week, seems like your team had a pretty good balanced attack as well. Not just, running the ball or throwing the ball, able to get some good things on both sides. So when you look at that, Coach, how do you think that helps your team moving forward?
We definitely want to run the football just because I think we're a little deeper at the running back spot than we are at wide receiver right now. We're playing without a couple starters Friday night, with some young guys stepped in and some roles and helped out. But having a balanced attack, we got Chaz Milburn at quarterback. Chaz can, read defense. He knows to get what routes he wants against what coverage. And so being able to, run the ball, still being heavy on the run, but being able to, still throw the ball 7, 12, 13, 14 times a game and mixing that in is going to be a big key for us down the road.
Coach, moving forward with your team, who were some other guys that you really stood out to you in that first game that you're looking for to continue to do well moving forward?
For us, it was definitely Chris Williams, sophomore. Played really well at corner, but he had 205 return yards in the punt return and kick return game, and he broke an 80-yarder for a touchdown. So young kids like him, Dustin Boley, a freshman for us, playing linebacker. They played key roles. Woody Smith played outside linebacker for us, first varsity action, and did really well. And, there's some young kids kids plugging and playing for a couple seniors that are down. But right now, I think we're heading in the right direction.
Kaiser had a tough game to start their season. They've had a little bit. I believe they started on a Thursday. It was a 48-7 loss, so they've had a little bit of time to reflect on that. Is it tough to prepare for a game when a team struggles as much as they did in their first game and maybe didn't show their best stuff?
No, because at the end of the day, I think, when you look at Kaiser's going to do what they do, and that offense, it's hard enough to prepare for, especially if you're trying to, put a scout team together during practice to run what they run, and they've been running it since they were 5 years old. So for us, that I don't think that film projects what that Kaiser team is, and we all say it, the first game out, everybody has a plan until that ball gets kicked off, and these jitters, first game jitters, kids just not executing. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could look at on our film and be like, well, that's probably first game jitters for a lot of kids. So I don't think that film projects what Kaiser is. But I think for us, we understand what we're getting into.
How do you, I guess, emphasize that to your team?
We watch. We watch film. And the one thing that we preach to our kids is no matter what film looks like on Friday night, that can all change. So Kaiser's going to come out. It's going to be a home game for them. We're going to get their best shot, and I think they're going to execute at a high level, and we're going to have to play football.
All right, Coach, final question this week, our fun question. NFL kicks off tomorrow. So you have any Super Bowl predictions?
Ravens all the way.
You got an opponent for them or just the Ravens?
It don't matter. Ravens all the way.
I like the pick. All right. Hopefully that ends up being true. But thank you, Coach, for joining us, and good luck.
All right, I appreciate it.